And what's the connection between KC and Birdman, Stunner?
That's like, you could say that's Stunner OG.
For sure.
You know, his big home.
He used to always shout him out in them early.
Definitely, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, KC inspired a lot of us, bro. Like, a lot of us through that project. Not just through that project, through the Melf, the Calio, like, he was a motherfucker who inspired a lot of people.
And he's still around to this day.
I still have a relationship with him to this day. That's my OG.
No, for sure. What about, so I guess the Victor Newman, he passed away?
Yeah, Victor ended up passing away. But Victor was, like, what happened with Victor was, so when we started with the weight, Victor was in the streets, right? So he was hustling and shit. When we started Tough Guy, the crazy shit about it, Victor got hit on a motorbike on the by Broad and the Milk people. And he settled for like $500,000 or some shit like that. Because he had a prosthetic leg. And that's what he invested in Tough Guys.
Okay.
That's where he got the money from with Tough Guys. But we had already did that shit with Worth the Wait.
So how did he pass away?
He ended up having a habit, bro. And he ended up falling victim to his habit. Which is the craziest shit in the world.
Drugs?
Yes.
Yeah, RIP to him, man. Well, you talked about just getting back on track with the session. So I know I veered off for a second to ask you about the whole
I think Wango, what happened was,
but yeah, take us
Wango
back.
and
well, like, what's the atmosphere? Not to cut you off. Is this during the day? This at night? What's the atmosphere like, man?
It's probably at night. So right, so Dodo got a nephew, a cousin named Nut. Right, Nut out the project, 2 out the Calio. So at that time, I think Nothing was doing a company that was called CP3. Okay, so they was already putting out music, right? So Doe was like, man, fuck it, we're gonna put Wango on you. And I want to say he called Nutter, he probably just called Wango, but Wango come through. Wango, Boo, and I won't say Flowers, Wine Flowers. And they come through, but like, it was, I think people was so, was so in tune to how good I was as a rapper. Like that shit wasn't on our mind for us, no beef shit. And then you gotta understand I'm younger than most of them. You know what I'm saying? But that shit, it wasn't no tension. Cause Doe was like, let me show y'all how hot this little nigga is. He let him hear a few songs and all that kind of shit, and we was like, we want you to get on this. But the crazy part about it, let me just tell you what's crazy, right? Let me show you how much it was no tension. The day when that video was scripted wrong. It wasn't supposed to be shot in the Magnolia first. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be shot in the Calio first. We were supposed to do the morning scene in the Magnolia, the night scene in the Calio. The dudes mixed it up. So they were in the Calio at the time when they should have been in the Magnolia. So that's why the Calio has more or less like a daytime scene. The Magnolia had the nighttime scene, but it was supposed to be opposite. But Wango and Boo picked me up to come out the Magnolia to bring me in the Calio for that scene when we were doing that video. Like, that's how excited all of us was. Like, they literally came, picked me up. Boo and Wango picked me up and brought me to the Calio because Doden was there already. Like, they started setting up like, but the camera crew probably got there like 6 o'clock in the morning. Doe be up early, you gonna pay attention time. So Doe probably was there since 5 o'clock. They calling my phone. By the time I got up, they like, all right, Gio say he about to come get you. Swing. Gio and Boo can't got me.
Man, it's a reason why you mentioned that it wasn't any tension during that recording session. Is it because Wango, so he was one of the people who was going against, I guess, Gangsta, and so
Wango Boo is Nine Fingers. Who? That's Nine Fingers.
So
you ever heard?
Talk about the
Nine Fingers is Boo got one of his fingers shut off. But you'll hear Gig speak on it like that's the dude, that's some of the dudes he was beefing with. That's why he always say he mad with me about the shit with them coming to the project, because it wouldn't have happened if he was around. Which I totally get it. But it was a new time and era. Like, a part of that shit is like, we knew the Calio from being in the project. Like, we knew all them dudes, and then beef took out. So it was nothing for us. That's like us and the Melf. We beef with the Melf, then we get back cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we damn near right up the street from each other.
Okay. And you was talking about, so that's Wango, man, but you listen to Dodo's verse on the song, he sound like a stunner man. I mean, I said a stunner man, like a bird man. On the low, like he sound like he talk rapping.
We started.
He spitting game.
All that is you got to get that credit to Spitter, because Doe used to always be trying to rap, right? And Spitter used to be like, no, you got to spit that shit. You got to do that shit like stunner, like game, and that's why Doe raps are more or less like talk raps. But that's all that's Spitter with that shit. Spitter pulled that shit off with it.
Hold on, did he write his verse? Oh, okay.
Those two cold. Don't thought he was the coldest motherfucker in the world. Wasn't nobody writing no verse for him. Like, I'm telling you real talk. Like, you wasn't writing no verse for him. Like, we'll tell him when something sound crazy or something. And he'll be like, oh man, fuck, I'm gonna try something else then or some shit like that. But he wrote his own shit.
Yeah. I mean, I got a question. You said that Master P was supposed to be on that song originally, but y'all used the sample.
Let's just say it was Master P saying it on the hook. So I don't know if even Doe hollered at P about doing it, but C was around, so it was easy for C to do it. Like this around the time when, you know, like we was like all us used to be running together before, like the Magnolia and the Calio really got back together as in when Slim and C got together. But me and Doe and C and a lot of us was already running together. Mm-hmm. And then Slim ended up coming home. Then him and C Murder locked in.
You talking about Soulja Slim?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Once him and C Murder locked in, like he was running like it was the fucking DBs and fucking Back of Town from the Cali. Like it was Slim and C. Niggas used to be everywhere together.
I wonder how they got so close, because two different projects, you know the history.
It's a vibe, bro. Like that's the same thing as me and Doe getting close. Like real recognized real, like as in everything, you know, like when you find a motherfucker that you're compatible with as in the motherfucker that you fuck with, it don't really matter where they from. Sometimes that shit get cut out. Like that shit always happen in jail. Like I always see niggas that will be connected in jail. I'm talking about just because they had to survive together. You know what I'm saying? And when they get on the street, they got a whole different kind of relationship. Like they don't give no fucks about no hoods or none of that kind of shit, because they know when they was down, when they was in the bin, when shit had to go down, that they had to look out for each other, they was looking out for each other. Like I remember they got a dude, Two Pistol. Two Pistol used to be in the 6-1. Like Two Pistol and Doe had that kind of relationship. I know, I could just tell you a lot of relationships, like Dodo and TB, Spiggy and Dodo, Spiggy and TB. Like, it was a lot of that shit, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just motherfuckers who are in the streets, but from different areas, like different projects and shit like that.
Oh, for sure. And when I asked you about Master P, I thought you were saying he was supposed to be.
I don't think we actually reached out on
like an actual verse. Like,
no. You know, that was just his hook.
You know, for sure.
That actually came from that song, and by C being around, we just like, C, what you go ahead on do the hook? C like, I ain't doing no trip, I'm fucking with you.
Yeah.
Because at that time, C had just signed Wango. All them was under True Records.
Okay. Man, just one more question about the Brick Living album. When you see that come out, you know, you got videos on TV, you selling hundreds of thousands of copies. You know, you linked up with No Limit, who was like arguably the biggest rap label at the time. I know you said you didn't actually sign to the label.
Like they just distributed it, and they did the deal through Prada.
But like, what was that period of your life like, dog? You like getting that actual like mainstream success?
Bro, I was still in the streets when I was still in the streets when we found out that the album would go. I was in the project. If I'm not mistaken, it's like me, Jerker Man, probably Legal Locksmith, and probably Latino sitting around, and I got the call like, yeah, the album go. I'm like, yeah. That's what's up, though. Like I'm pull up and come get you. And we did a gold party after that. When we did us doing the gold party, I think I want to say that was when Slim had first came home when we was doing the gold party. I want to say that. If not, I think Slim probably had came home when we were doing the compilation album. But one time Slim came home and came right in that motherfucker and got on the stage. That was the night when Spitter took a ride.
Oh yeah.
That's that night.
He got caught in traffic.
Right.
Yeah.
Slim performed that night. He coming there with Bob.
Yeah, I remember you
No, he
said
coming
that
there with
story.
not Bob. Well, I can't think of what you call him, man, bro. That's crazy. Swab, not Bob, Swab.
Oh.
Rest in peace, Swab. Swab was like Pete Banker.
Okay.
That we used to always call Swab when we needed some money. Say like we used to be needing some money, right? Before we got the deal structured, before we got the deal right. Doe used to always do this thing. We used to call it kidnapping, right? But Doe would call Swab and ask him where he at, and we'll pull up on him and get in the car with him all day until he called Pete. Like real talk. And then, cause we knew Pete was gonna have to call him. Like this wasn't me, this Doe. Doe knew Pete was gonna have to call him because he controlled the money, right? So we'd be in the car with him all day. We have him hanging with us all day. And then when Pete called, he'd be like, yeah, Dodo said they need like 5,000 or something. Cause that nigga Pete told us stop hustling this shit. Niggas like, all right. But Doe just came up with this. But there's a lot of motherfuckers, bro, that I can say that looked out for us. Like, between us getting a deal, after I got through with the album, you gotta think, bro, it took us probably 2 months before we got the check. And people talking about no hustling. It's a lot of motherfuckers who helped us out, like Herman, it's a dude named Herman, my partner Blood. It's a lot of motherfuckers. Toe, Nino Paul. It's just a lot of motherfuckers who were just helping us out, like as in throwing us something because they knew we were about to get the money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And they throw us something knowing we gonna come give it back soon as we get our shit. Like, I remember when we first got our money, when our money clear, boy, we couldn't wait to pull up all them niggas and get them niggas their money back.
Yeah.
Because it was a different ball game of it. Like we, and they had no idea the kind of money we was gonna get.